In a future where disease, pollution, and corporate greed have made getting a delicious meal more difficult than ever, the residents of Night City must prepare their food without eggs, dairy, or meat. This is Cyberpunk Kitchen. We will recreate meals from the action role-playing game Cyberpunk 2077 using ingredients that are readily available. So let's get started with today's recipe and see what a cyberpunk future might taste like. The in-game reference for today's recipe are many and varied. Sushi can be found in the player's inventory as Norimaki, which provides nourishment and increases health by 5%, as well as various other places throughout Night City.
I'm ready. You ready?
These shrimp fresh.
They just arrived, straight from the best aqua farm in Night City.
Aqua farm.
Where do you think? From Pacifica? That trash from the sea no good. Make you sick.
William Gibson's Sprawl trilogy is a major influence on Cyberpunk 2077. Gibson makes mention of sushi a number of times in his books. Henry Dorset Case orders sushi before the Straylight run in the novel Neuromancer. Bobby Newmark learns about aquaculture taking place inside mega buildings in Count Zero. And finally, Mona Lisa grew up on an aquaculture farm in Cleveland before she became a famous brain dance star in the aptly named Mona Lisa Overdrive. Since the oceans are polluted, fish farms, or aquaculture, explains the presence of sushi in Cyberpunk 2077. I don't have the training of a true sushi chef, but also keep in mind that not all sushi uses raw fish. There are a number of amateur-safe Norimaki recipes we can make that won't require the use of raw meat. Norimaki requires the following ingredients: nori, a type of seaweed formed into sheets, seasoned rice, and filling. You will need some tools such as a sushi-mat and a sharp kitchen knife. These can be purchased online quite reasonably if you are unable to find them locally. The long lead item for making norimaki is the rice. The rice needs to be cool to the touch, so make it up at least an hour or two before you need to use it. And even then, you will want to store it in the refrigerator. The rice used is the short grain variety. You may even find dedicated sushi rice. Measure out 1 cup of rice into a large bowl and rinse it under cold water. Stir the sushi with your hands. The water will appear milky and opaque. Change the water and continue rinsing. Repeat this until the water is clear enough to see through it to the rice below. Drain the water from the rice in preparation for cooking. I'll be using a rice cooker. Add the rice to the cooker along with 2 cups of water. And let the cooker do its thing. If cooking on a stovetop, add the rice to a saucepan with 1.5 to 2 cups of water. Bring to a boil, turn down the heat to a simmer, and cook covered for 15 to 20 minutes. While the rice is cooking, we can prepare the seasoning. In a small saucepan, combine 1 cup of mirin or rice wine vinegar, a half cup of sugar, and a 1/4 cup of salt. Heat on low and stir until the salt and sugar dissolve. Do not boil. Remove from heat and allow to cool. When the rice is done cooking, remove from heat immediately. Stir in 1/4 cup of the prepared seasoning. Cover and allow the rice to cool in the refrigerator. Once the rice is cool, it's now time to make some norimaki. The fillings we'll be using are cucumber, avocado, pickled radish, and seasoned tofu. I'll also make up a dressing from Cyberpunk compliant egg-free mayonnaise and Siracha. Peel the cucumber. Remove the seeds and discard. Slice the cucumber into thin strips. Cut and peel the avocado into quarter-inch strips. If the pickled radish isn't already sliced, slice it into quarter-inch square strips. Cut the tofu into quarter-inch square strips. Cut a sheet of nori in half with a pair of scissors. Place a half sheet on a flat surface. Cover the nori with a layer of rice. The rice will be sticky. To prevent the rice from sticking to you, wet your fingers in cold water. Use your fingers to spread a quarter to half-inch thick layer of rice across the nori. If you press the rice with your palms, it will simply clump together and won't move at all. Sprinkle some sesame seeds over the rice. Then flip the rice-covered nori over. Choose your fillings. Spread them on the nori. Roll the fillings up inside the nori. You might need the edge of your kitchen knife to get it started. Use a sushi mat to squeeze the roll. And now you've made a giant sushi roll. Slice the roll into 6 equal pieces with a sharp knife. Clean the knife often with cold water to prevent the knife from sticking to the roll. Place the individual pieces on their ends on a serving tray. If using tofu, spread a thin layer of dressing on the nori. Tofu is pretty bland and the dressing will add some needed flavor. You can also make the rolls with the nori on the outside. Be sure to leave some of the nori uncovered by the rice to overlap the seam. Use the sushi mat to squeeze the roll. Cut the roll into 6 equal pieces and place them on a serving plate. Keep rolling and cutting until you run out of fillings, rice, or nori. If not serving immediately, cover with plastic wrap and refrigerate. Serve the norimaki with soy sauce, wasabi, and some slices of pickled ginger. Norimaki goes great with a side of miso soup. The nutrition for norimaki will depend on the ingredients used. Most of the calories will come from the rice. A serving of 6 pieces uses about 1/3 of a cup of cooked rice, which is about 70 calories. Overall, sushi might be filling, but not fattening. The cost for 6-roll serving will depend on the fillings, but for the most part, norimaki is very inexpensive to make. So now it's time to check with the Primo meter.
Hella green.
Norimaki gets a preem. There's a bit of a learning curve and some specialized tools such as a sushi-mat, but the results are fantastic and will impress your dinner party guests or your family. Norimaki are visually appealing and taste great. Finally, this is one of the least expensive Cyberpunk kitchen meals that I've made. Give this recipe a try and let me know what you think in the comments below. And, as always, thank you for watching, Chooms.